VODKA time!
Yes people, welcome back to the Knots Cave. Today we're going to sit down and have a blast on a game that's rather special. Yes, the developers over at Retro Summers have been in touch and given us access to their latest build of the work in progress game Sovietborgs for the Sega Mega Drive. Retro Summers are a Spanish indie development studio best known for the fantastic Xenocider on the Sega Dreamcast. A game that I covered on the channel a year or so ago. Xenocider is a love letter to all rail shooters like Space Harrier and Sin and Punishment. A game I highly recommend checking out on the Dreamcast as it's one of the console's finest indie games. Members of Retro Summers have also worked on titles such as Pierce Solar, Ghost Blade, as well as ports of Flashback and Fade to Black for the Dreamcast. What a talented bunch Retro Summers are, and if you haven't checked it out already, I highly recommend trying out Xenocider for yourselves as it's an absolute must-have for the Dreamcast. Sovietborgs is set in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world where the USSR won the Cold War and plunged the rest of the world into a globally radioactive, horrible nightmare. In November 1989, the KGB's electric brain Torvish Prime became self-aware and triggered the detonation of all capitalist nuclear warheads around the globe. Once the red flag was raised in victory worldwide, the Red Army's elite force, known only as the Sovietborgs, are then tasked with cleaning up any mutated monsters and rebel factions that still patrol the radioactive lands. Resistance is futile. The Sovietborgs are here to free you from your freedom, people. Sovietborgs is in development for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, Sega Dreamcast and Neo-Geo. And Retro Summers' Indiegogo campaign kicks off on the 25th of June, so if you fancy backing the game, I'll drop a link in the description and you can follow it from there. We've been given the Mega Drive build of the game to have a look at today, so let's fire up the Mega Drive and have a blast, people.
VODKA time!
Oh yes, after this video mate, it will be. So here we go guys, we'll dive straight into the 3-level demo of Sovietborgs. The first level we get is an exploratory stage where we have to destroy all the enemies in enemy spawn encampments. The second stage is a bonus stage and the third is the boss. So to the basics guys, if you hold your A button you can shoot and move with your 3 Borgs. If you'd like to do it on the spot and fire in any direction you want to, you can hold the X button. B makes your 3 Borgs sprint, and C, more importantly, is your grenade button. Now use these sparingly guys, as I've just wasted one. You don't get many in the level, there's not many to pick up either. The energy bar at the bottom left hand corner of the screen is split into 3. Each time you lose one of those segments you will lose one of your Borgs, so make sure to keep them all alive, because as you lose your Borgs your firepower lessens and the game gets more difficult. So the enemies will all start off at a spawn point, very much like Gauntlet, and I'm sure Chaos Engine did the same thing back on the Amiga in the day. So the idea is to eradicate the spawn points to prevent them from spawning into the world and giving you a bit of a nightmare. Here we are, the second wave of enemies here. We have killer chickens. Now the killer chickens really do get on my nerves because they do tend to swarm you if you let a lot of them get on the screen. More irritating so than those zombies. This item here just makes the enemies go see, there we go, we've got some of them. I'm sure down here we have some more killer chickens, so like, yeah, always remember to take out the spawn points, otherwise you will become overwhelmed quicker than you can say VODKA time. Go to the C button there, get rid of that spawn, get rid of the killer chickens if we don't like them. More zombies and more killer chickens. Oh, my Borgs are in trouble. Let's get out of the way of that. It's quite difficult to line them all up to concentrate your fire, but it's a nice spread to stop enemies from getting you as well. So, I don't know, I prefer moving and shooting than stationary shooting. So I don't tend to use the X button fire very much, other than to make my proletariats have a nice little dance. There's a health pickup to stop us from losing one of our proletariats along the way. Our lovely cyborg Russian mutant hunter people. So this will just make the wall go, there we go, just like the enemies did. And we can follow it through here, fight some of these lovely enemies. And I don't know why I'm picking on the zombies, because those green spider things that pop out on the floor here are very, very irritating if you let them get close. They do dash at you as well, so take them out before anything else. Take a few more zombies down over here. There we go, look, there's plenty more of these. I find that the best thing to do when you see these guys is to just fire and back away and hope that they all disappear. Yes. Here we go, some bombs for refill. So we'll just use one on these guys to get rid of that crowd there and take out the spawn point here. Now next we're supposed to follow this, but I'll show you this way briefly what happens if you do not complete the mission and you find the 11th exit. So just Get rid of these few spawn points here before any of the enemies come out. And I was quite lucky with that one, only spawned a few chickens. But if you get to the exit and you haven't completed the mission, it just tells you you must complete the mission. So before you finish the level, you must destroy all enemies in all spawn camps, which obviously sometimes can be more difficult than it seems, depending on which enemies you take out, which spawn points you take out, and what you leave alive. So yeah, the game can be very, very different each time you play through, just depending on your play style more than anything. Yeah, you've got to watch out for these zombies because they throw giant radioactive bogies at you. Lovely, there we go. Gets a little hairy around here now. We get some killer chickens and the green things at the same time. Take out one of the chicken spawn points. Well, could have done if that chicken didn't get in the way of my grenade. And then we get green guys here and zombies. So we'll leave the zombies for a minute because these green things are so much more irritating. I love the music as well. For a Sega Mega Drive, it sounds really cool. The developers say they were inspired by games like Command & Conquer: Red Alert to make music like this, and it really does show. Let's get a bit of health there, so our proletariats stay alive. See if we can make it through the stage with all three of them intact. Get those killer chickens, mate. Beautiful. Uh-oh, more trouble, more trouble. We need to back off, guys, because we're in trouble here. Zombies out of the way. Let's see if we can get rid of that spawn point. There we go. Before we get covered in too many bogies. Lovely. There's a wall, and round we go again. And I think the final few enemies of the stage are just round here somewhere. Make our way casually round. I'm sure we missed some enemies just up here. There we go. Spawn points have appeared. And just take out these nasty nasties. Oh no, there we go. I've lost enough energy now to lose a proletariat. As you can see, firepower diminishes as well. But we're at the stage end now, people, so you know, vodka time.
VODKA time.
Really do enjoy this game. It's just got me. It feels so much like playing one of those old spawn camp shooters like Gauntlet that I'm just enjoying it so much. Now the bonus stage, you have to shoot down flying mutants in able to refill your health and your bombs as well. Running into them like I'm doing here doesn't actually give you anything, so you've got to make sure you shoot them down first. More importantly than anything, I need to find some bombs, otherwise the boss is going to eat us alive in the next phase of the game. I'm not doing too well, people. Not squishing many flies here. The shots do come out very slow, so you've got to be as accurate as possible with each shot as well. Say, ramming the bugs does not achieve anything. There we go, that's not two. Looks like we've only managed to get 2 grenades for the boss. This could be challenging. Oh no, we've got 3. So at the end of each bonus stage, you've filled up your health, you've got your proletariat back, and if you were lucky, or luckier than I was, you could have picked up more than 3 grenades. So now we're on to the boss at the end of the demo. This guy is just huge. The game's graphics do look really nice. They're done in a similar style to the way Donkey Kong Country was done on the Super Nintendo, wherein the pre-rendered graphics are then converted over to sprites, so that they look really nice in the game. And I've got to admit, they've done a really good job here. And I'm losing proletariats, my friend. This guy can be quite tough as well, especially when you run out of grenades, because he's rather quick. And like you saw there, he can do an attack where he sort of gets you from the opposite end of the screen with his tentacle through the sand. Come on, mate. Don't let me down. I'm demoing this for people. Hey, there we go. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the demo of Sovietborgs. I cannot wait to see what the Dreamcast and Neo-Geo versions of the game look and sound like, because the Mega Drive one is absolutely fantastic.
Game over, tovarищ.
So yes, there we go, people. That was the demo of Sovietborgs for the Sega Mega Drive. Don't forget, this game's also being released for the Sega Dreamcast and the Neo-Geo. So if you do like what you saw and you want to support their campaign, click the link in the description and go over and check out their Indiegogo. Now, I enjoy playing this game because it reminded me of stuff like Chaos Engine and Gauntlet. Remember those old sort of games where you had the spawns that let monsters into the world? This adds a certain element of strategy to the game because obviously you're going to want to take out some of these spawns a lot quicker than you are others. So I can't wait to see how chaotic Sovietborgs gets in the future, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So take care, thanks for watching, thanks to Retro Summers for letting us play this game, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
VODKA time! Hard man. Hard machine. All proletariat. Sovietborgs, stay tuned. That's an order.